So that's the big media, right? And then the other media, hey, they got to sell tickets, views, clicks. They're gonna go with whatever the big guys are pushing because it's popular, and it's such a fight to try to create something new, right? Only way to beat a system is to create a new one, and nobody really wants to spearhead that. You have to have a lot of money and time behind you to spearhead that. And so, yeah, I would say they're the blame, but I would attack it at an even quote unquote lower level, which is I would say the artists. If it didn't exist, right? Like when you send sessions over to get them mixed and mastered, they would say to me, "Listen, anything you don't want on that song, don't have it on the track at all. It might end up on the song if it's recorded and it's one of the tracks." So if they don't have the negativity to promote, it won't be promoted. I think the mentorship should happen on that level, and the media would have nothing negative to promote in that way. And then the fans, the consumers have a responsibility not to respond to the nonsense. Place a higher bar. Say, nah, we're not listening to that. Because really, the people behind it, all they care about is money. If positivity sells, they'll sell it. If negativity sells, they'll sell it. If something in the middle sells, they'll sell it. They could care less. They don't really have a real dog in the fight. It's all about money to them. And once again, negativity is easier because people are inherently, naturally negative.
Hip hop started an agreed date of August 10th, 1973, in Cool
Hmm.
Herc's basement, so people
Yes,
say.
sir.
But hip hop predates that date. To me, the
Yeah.
first mixtape hip hop type album I've ever heard, and I could be wrong if there's something that came before it, was Marvin Gaye "What's Going On" album, right?
Yeah.
And when Marvin Gaye wanted to make that album, Berry Gordy told him, "No, we're not making that album. It's a bad idea." But he fought to put something positive out so the people would have music to
Yeah.
stand by. And look what it did. Not only did
Yeah.
it change soul and R&B, it changed pop, which came later, and then it influenced hip hop. With the
Yeah.
sequel to the album being Public Enemies, it takes a nation of millions to hold us back, right?
Yeah.
And we came from a time when all hip hop artists had at least one positive song to
Yep.
go to to be a olive branch.
Yeah.
Today, though, we have artists bringing what you're saying back to the forefront, as in you, as in D1, as in the veteran artists who have come out of the game, like Billy Dance. Billy Dance at MOP said, look, MOP has put a lot of gunplay out, but there's going to be a time when we got to put the guns down and really start mentoring these young men into seeing what's there and not bring gun bars everywhere. Because sometimes you could be just as dope, if not better, being a rapper that doesn't bring gun bars and just talks real life, but you give it in a clever way. Back to what we said though, we're at a time where hip hop has been so suppressed that you now have to find the music instead
Yeah.
of just focus on what's been given. Do you think playlist culture played a part in us losing the music
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
having and,
Because
and having
because that's what radio is, right? Radio's a playlist, and now the streaming services are playlists. I also think a lot of the conscious music, um, while they're nice to other people who are just nice and thinking about lyricism and who like that, I'm gonna go to say something controversial, which is I don't think it has a lot of replay value. I think one of the greatest positive records, a lot that Tribe did, but is Queen Latifah, UNITY, because it also has playback value. A lot of times when people come with a conscious message, it's not done dope enough to sell, to do 100 billion streams. It is in a certain way that's just not really that great if we're honest. And so I think that's why artists like me have a responsibility to put those real budgets together and push real hard and push it up the charts because I am one of those artists gifted enough to ride that thin line where it is a message, but it is just downright dope. And it's not a lot of cats like that. It's a lot of Christian rappers that have that kind of heat. Um, that don't get the light outside of that world and outside of the church tour run, that have the lyricism and etc. But even a lot of them, I tell them, and I'm like, it's dope, but it doesn't have a lot of replay value. For other rappers, will listen, but outside of that. The average person is not listening for tricky rhyme schemes. They're just not. They don't want to hear it. So of course a sexy red or whoever else appeals to them more because they can understand them. They don't need a thesaurus to listen. They don't need a dictionary to listen to them. It's not over their head and it has better replay value. It's something you can listen to every day. You know what I mean? And so I think artists that want to be conscious and positive need to step their poetry up and be more dope rather than just dope for what you are. Be all around dope. Be able to rival that music. Make something that knocks the same way all this stuff out the south comes on a little baby or the baby record knocks. Something that knocks the same, but it does have a dope message and it's not, a preachy in a boring way. Or it doesn't feel like class. Nobody likes class, right? There's a lot of people who do like learning, but people don't necessarily love class. They can't wait to get out of class. So I don't want to hear a song, and that's all I listen to is positive music 99% of the time. Any other time, I'm just listening for the production to see what's current. You know what I mean? I don't enjoy the nonsense at all as an entertainment level, but a lot of the positive stuff just really ain't that good. Yeah, they good lyricists and they're not trash, but it just doesn't have replay value. So if we really want to change it, we got to step our game up. Self destruction had replay value.